So, I'm going to try explaining the ayahuasca trip I had the other night. This is Ayahuasca Medicine Center in the Amazon. 6-hour boat ride up the Amazon from Iquitos. Not technically up the Amazon. I think it's River de Kaitia. I can't remember the name of the river, but it's pretty sick. And I've been swimming in it almost every day. And I fucking love it here. It's really pretty. There's all kinds of huts. The people are awesome. There's like a bunch of people my age that have been here for the last couple weeks, and a few of them leave in a few days, but there's always people coming and going, and they're a pretty cool crowd. So anyway, here, I'll get into it. It was Friday night, started at 7 p.m., and you drink this thing that's a combination of the ayahuasca root plant mixed with some other herb that they're not even sure how they figured this out, but combined with that herb is what gives you the psychedelic trip. The ayahuasca root by itself doesn't do anything. It has the psychedelic compound, but it doesn't get absorbed by your stomach enzymes. So thousands of years ago, people might have been using it in soups and not even known what it was. And so either deliberately or accidentally, somebody started combining these two things and realized, holy cow, it sends you to Jupiter and back. So they started using it in medicinal, shamanic, traditional cultural practices here in Peru and elsewhere. But it's been part of the culture here for at least 2,000 years. Just giving you a backstory, I suppose. But I read that they found a piece of pottery related to ayahuasca ceremonies dated 500 BC. So it's been around for at least 2,500 years, actually. And boy, does it feel like you're connecting with something. That's the coolest part. Because I've done other psychedelics. I've done LSD and mushrooms. And this was gentle. Or at least it was probably because I'd set a very careful intention for it to be. They say that this really will listen to you. You know, if you set a very core intention, it will respect that. I'm like, interesting, okay. And so I really took that seriously. And for most of the day on Friday, I was doing this meditative breathwork practice that I learned at the Monastic Academy. It's mostly this energetic breathing, similar to Wim Hof, but in a meditative form. And it really set me at ease. I'd been nervous earlier in the week, but after doing this meditation practice, I felt at ease. And I kept just setting this mental intention of peace and love and gentle loving kindness. And so anyway, come to the 7 p.m. ayahuasca ceremony. They've got the already mixed drink, which they say tastes bad, but it wasn't that bad, to be honest with you. It didn't taste that bad. Maybe it's because I make green juices and stuff, and so I'm used to drinking stuff that doesn't taste very good. And it takes at least 30 minutes to feel anything. And in fact, the first thing you feel is you want to throw up. But it didn't feel like I feel really sick. It just kind of involuntarily comes out. There's parts of it activates in your stomach and it gets rejected or whatever. It's supposed to be called purging or something. You're like throwing up stuff that you were supposed to purge. But anyway, pretty quickly after you start vomiting, you don't vomit much, but you start purging, you start to feel it. And so that's a good signal. So you're kind of waiting there for like 30 minutes after you've drunken it for it to kick in, you vomit, and then all of a sudden you start seeing all these colors and fractals and just texturous colors, whether you have your eyes open or not. And you're just like, whoa, this is cool. You feel like these cool sensations. And you're not very mobile, so you're set up in a way that you can just lie down with a pillow and blanket and just look up at the ceiling or at the stars or wherever you want to look at and just soak it in because it lasts for like a couple hours. And so as it's coming on and you're getting more fractal colors, more visuals, I swear to you, at least for me, and most people attest to this, you get this distinct sensation that you're not alone, that like there's this very ancient, they call it Mother Ayahuasca, this like cultural Amazonian spirit being that kind of communes with you. And honest to God, because I really was setting my intention and I was taking it one step at a time, acclimating to it slowly, being very gentle with it, I could tell that it was kind of, courteous of that, I guess. And knowing me, for anybody that knows me, especially if I'm nervous, I'll just start talking. And so I started talking to it. I didn't realize I was talking out loud. And so after like a few minutes of this, somebody in the circle, because you're in this group of people, there's like at least 8 or 9 people. Somebody was like, Ben, please be quiet. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then you just can be a little more telepathic with it. But I was like sharing jokes. I was sharing little philosophical tidbits. I was describing all kinds of like cool shit. And then I would stop and listen because I'm like, oh, I'm probably talking too much. But I would feel the sensation of like, no, keep going. This is great, you know? And a lot of people told me that for your first ayahuasca journey, it is like it's just getting to know you, you know? And it's like an introduction. Now, I can suppose that plenty of people have all kinds of different thoughts around this, and I really couldn't give less of a shit, to be honest with you. I'm an agnostic when it comes to this. I really am. I don't know what the fuck this is. I think a truly honest, unbiased thing to just take it as it is for anyone that has experienced it and looks at it, I think it's a fair surmisement that it's like, okay, I was communicating something that felt like a, because again, I've been on psychedelics, I've been on things, I've never felt like I was talking to anything, except for that near-death experience I had, you know, a couple of years ago. But this felt like, this is some kind of like wise, motherly, ancient, maybe Mother Earth. Maybe I was talking to Mother Earth, I don't know. But it felt kind. And this was just like a back and forth. And it literally felt like I was a little kid doing stuff like, look what I could do. And I would like, you know, share a little cool shit. And it was just really, it's a lot of stuff that's hard to describe because you get into this interesting headspace. But then honestly, like a couple hours into it, I was feeling so good, so happy and giddy. And I started giggling. I brought my green laser and I started like pointing that. And at first people didn't mind, but then it was a bit much, so I turned it off. You're then eventually allowed to like get up and like talk to other people if people want to, if they're all right with that. And I had this little huddle of these like kind of like more scientifically minded people in the corner. We call it our little physics huddle. And we were chatting, and it was like felt like a couple of kids on the school ground. Because it really is, the energy is a little contagious, and the whole group kind of gets affected by everyone else. So you might have a group ceremony that is, you know, more spiritual or more fun or joyous or maybe deep or maybe scary, I don't know. But this was like really fun and joyous for the most part. And so I don't know what else to say beyond that, to be honest with you. But it is slowly, gradually wears off after a few hours, and I felt really great. I did feel like I got a bunch of cool insights that I recorded. And so if you really want to know that, then you can ask me and I can send it to you, but I don't think I'll make that public. Just personal insights and stuff. But it was great. It was a great first experience. So that was it. It was very visual, very cool, and really distinctly felt like I was talking to a benevolent, ancient Mother Earth being that was inquisitive and curious and kind and just getting to know me. So take of that whatever you will, make of that whatever you will, and yeah, there you go. Feel free to ask me questions if you have them. Sorry if it wasn't a great description. I'll describe my next one, which is only in a couple of days, because you don't have to. It's not a compulsory thing, but apparently if you take them, you know, once or twice a week, there's like an interesting development to it. Like no trip is the same, and they kind of build upon each other. So we'll see, but that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and tune in for more later.